Once again, we are discussing this Blizzard situation because it just continues to get worse, and I am working on another video that'll be coming up hopefully in the next day or two, but I wanted to really focus in on what's going on now with Blizzard. If you have not been following along, and you probably have, but California is suing Blizzard Entertainment, and within their lawsuit, a lot was revealed. A lot of allegations, a lot of disturbing things, including an employee taking their life following alleged misconduct that was happening within Blizzard, which included employees sending around photos, those type of photos of the female employee, and then later she took her life. It really is messed up stuff. There's many more allegations of harassment, discrimination, racism, sexism. There was cube crawls happening because I guess Blizzard employees are the age of 12, and then there was groping happening, executives taking part in that, and then there was also executives just ignoring everything that was happening. And now, the last day or two, we've had a lot of more information to come about, and it's just getting a lot worse. We have a lot of I'm sorry from executives that were in charge who no longer have any power, and then there's executives that are in power who are saying I'm sorry, but I mean, I'm sorry doesn't really mean much when you allowed this culture to foster. And this is something that's been going on for a long time. There's been dozens upon dozens of Blizzard employees sharing their stories this last week, and what's becoming clear is that for the last decade or two, this has been going on, and I'm not really sure how this didn't pop up years ago, but yeah, there's just been an avalanche of allegations emerging, and it's becoming quite clear that Blizzard never was great. They never really had values, and before people say that, of course they have great games and stuff, that's not what I mean. I mean the values of who they were as one of the best gaming companies around. That just never was true with all of this horrible things happening. And of course, this is something that this entire industry is having to grapple with, because it's not just Blizzard Entertainment. Rockstar Games had to undergo a huge culture change after some really disturbing allegations emerged. Ubisoft, of course, last year, Riot Games. This is just an industry-wide issue. But right now, we have some major updates to share about the Blizzard situation, and it's, like I said, it's getting worse. Initially, Activision Blizzard's response to this Californian lawsuit was pretty much going into attack mode. As we discussed in the last video, they sent this following statement to many publications, pretty much saying that they value diversity and strive to foster a workplace that offers inclusivity for everyone. They said the California agency included distorted, in many cases, false descriptions of Blizzard's past. And then they called out some of the allegations, some of the horrifying stuff listed, saying that it is the type of irresponsible behavior from an unaccountable state bureaucrats that are driving many of the state's best businesses out of California. Just hilarious, Activision Blizzard saying that when they don't pay any taxes. But anyway, they say the picture that the California agency painted is not the Blizzard workplace of today. And then they go over all measures and stuff that they've done to improve the workplace over the years. They even talk about an anti-harassment training program that everybody has to take part in, because I guess that's supposed to mean that nobody will actually do that type of stuff. But anyway, regardless, I think that this statement was a bunch of BS, and much of Activision Blizzard's developers and staff felt the same exact way. Now, the interesting thing is, since this statement came about, we've had a lot more statements coming from various executives and figures within Activision Blizzard. We're also now hearing from some of the past leaders of Blizzard. That includes the Diablo co-creator Chris Metzen, who left the company, I believe, around 2016. He said in a statement on Twitter, "We failed and I'm sorry. To all of you at Blizzard, those of you I know, and those of you whom I've never met, I offer you my very deepest apologies for the part I played in a culture that fostered harassment, inequality, and indifference." But the big top dog that we actually heard from that delivered a statement, who is no longer at the company, Mike Morhaime, and he delivered a very interesting statement which has received mixed reception from people who feel he should have known what was going on at his company, who he ran for 28 years. And that's what he says in part of his statement. He says, "During that time, I tried very hard to create an environment that was safe and welcoming for people of all genders and backgrounds. I knew that it was not perfect, but clearly we were far from that goal." And he continued in his statement saying, "To the Blizzard woman who experienced any of these things, I'm extremely sorry that I failed you. I realize that these are just words, but I wanted to acknowledge the woman who had awful experiences. I hear you, I believe you, and I am so sorry to have let you down. Now, as I said before, not all former and current Blizzard developers were happy with this response. One developer taking to Twitter saying Ben Kilgore was being investigated for inappropriate conduct with female employees as early as 2016, yet in May 2017 he was promoted from Chief Technology Officer to Chief Development Officer. How is that situation allowed to occur? The Women's Council knew about the allegations. So like I said, a lot of the executives, all of the leaders current and past, are feeling the blowback from this lawsuit. And again, many former and current Blizzard developers are sharing their stories, which makes clear that the leadership at Blizzard failed all of these individuals. Now, I really should emphasize that we're seeing some very mixed signals coming from within Activision Blizzard. What I mean by that is some of the executives are saying they're sorry, they're admitting that they failed developers, while on the other hand, some of the executives are just saying that all of this is an outright lie, and this is just causing even more chaos. So we have J. Allen Brack, the Blizzard president. He delivered a statement which can be summarized as him just saying all of this is extremely disturbing. As PC Gamer wrote, he sent out an internal email to employees. In that memo, Brack said the behavior described in the lawsuit was completely unacceptable and reiterated that harassment of any kind was not tolerated, while affirming Blizzard's commitment to employee safety and right to speak out without fear of retaliation. Although again, in that California lawsuit, it's mentioned that J. Allen Brack either ignored or just he wasn't paying attention to what was going on under his watch. Then we had Activision President Rob Kostich. He actually delivered another internal email to staff saying the allegations were deeply disturbing and that the behaviors described are not reflective of our Activision company values. Okay, whatever. Anyway, but this is where things take a drastic turn, because we saw another statement, this coming from Activision Blizzard executive Fran Townsend. She serves as Activision Blizzard's chief compliance officer, and she also served as a Bush-era Homeland Security advisor. And she attacked this lawsuit. She said it presented a distorted and untrue picture of Activision Blizzard, including factually incorrect, old, and out-of-context stories, some from more than a decade ago. We know who drafted that initial statement. And then she continued saying, I was certain that I was joining a company where I would be valued, treated with respect, and provided opportunities equal to those afforded to the men of the company. For me, this has been true during my time. I guess her experience is supposed to be evidence that Blizzard's really good. Anyway, it is worth mentioning that Fran Townsend has actually only been at the company for 4 months, but in her attack statement, she also said the lawsuit, we cannot let the egregious actions of others in a truly meritless and irresponsible lawsuit damage our culture of respect and equal opportunity for all of our employees. Fucking people. Oh my god. Anyway, I'm really I got tears coming from my eyes. I just find that so hysterical. But if you were curious, the Activision Blizzard developers and staff, they found this statement absolutely pathetic, what Fran was saying. They're fuming over this. Now, how angry are they? Well, 1,000 current and former Activision Blizzard employees signed a letter calling the company's responses to the lawsuit abhorrent and insulting. In the entire statement, they said to the leaders of Activision Blizzard, we, the undersigned, agree that the statements from the company and their legal counsel regarding the lawsuit, as well as the subsequent internal statements from Francis Townsend, are abhorrent and insulting to all that we believe our company should stand for. To put it clearly and unequivocally, our values as employees are not accurately reflected in the words and actions of our leadership. We believe these statements have damaged our ongoing quest for equality inside and outside of our industry. Categorizing the claims that have been made as distorted, in many cases false, creates a company atmosphere that disbelieves victims. It also casts doubt on our organization's ability to hold abusers accountable for their actions and foster a safe environment for victims to come forward in the future. These statements make it clear that our leadership is not putting our values first, and the statement continues. They also call on Francis Townsend to stand by her word to step down as executive sponsor of the ABK Employee Women's Network as a result of the damaging nature of her statement. We call on the executive leadership team to work with us on new and meaningful efforts that ensure employees as well as our community have a safe place to speak out and come forward. Now, besides the internal pressure that Activision Blizzard's executives are feeling over this situation with how they're handling it, we're also seeing the public putting pressure on them. We have tweets like this, which have gone viral, which is just people saying boycott Activision Blizzard and all of their properties. Some saying go play Halo Infinite this fall. Some also saying go play Battlefield 2042. Just do not support this company. And then on top of that, many gaming outlets have said that they will not talk or cover Activision Blizzard or Ubisoft properties until further notice. That includes Switch Player, Ninty Fresh, Cinelinx. The Gamer also, they're going to be halting all coverage of Activision Blizzard, Prima Games, Game Explain, and it goes on. Now, furthermore, World of Warcraft players are actually protesting the company in-game. The following article comes from Game Rant, which says, a popular player gathering hub in World of Warcraft's Shadowlands expansion has become the site of a mass sit-in as players make their voices heard. A role-playing guild called Fence Macabre is the organizer of the protests, though the group isn't content with just sit-ins. As awareness is raised concerning Blizzard's alleged toxic work culture, they're also raising money for a non-profit organization that aims to train 1 million young women of color in science, tech, engineering, and math skills by 2040. Several members of other World of Warcraft guilds have shown support for the sit-in and have joined the group at Ouroboros. Yet others are also canceling their subscriptions outright and leaving the game. So like I said, this is an absolute nightmare for Activision Blizzard. But just so you understand how bad all of this is for Blizzard right now, they had to cancel a planned live stream for Hearthstone's next expansion, United in Stormwind. And that's because several streamers canceled their own card reveals in light of allegations of, well, everything that's going on, and that was listed in that California lawsuit. On top of that, just to understand how bad things are within Blizzard Entertainment right now, it seems like work has been halted as the company deals with this chaos, and many are just absolutely upset, livid, and I'm sure demoralized by all of this, everything that's emerged over the last week or so. Jeff Hamilton, a senior system designer on Warcraft, took to Twitter saying, okay, I'm still hopeful my team will make a statement, but Activision's statement was terrible. He then emphasized how he believes that all these allegations should be taken seriously, and then he said that he found Activision's corporate response wholly unacceptable, and then he continued saying, I don't know what to do, I don't have all the answers, I can tell you almost no work is being done on World of Warcraft right now while this obscenity plays out, and that benefits nobody, not the players, not the developers, not the shareholders. And then one developer actually had to take to Twitter saying, if your reaction to everything going on right now is to complain that the next patch is going to take longer to release, then you need to take a step back and realize that you are part of the problem. You value video game content more than human decency and respect. So right now it just seems like it's absolute chaos behind the scenes at Activision Blizzard, and they are facing just an avalanche. I really have never seen something so bad for a company, but hey, I mean, their stock price is still somewhat stable, and I mean, ultimately in a couple weeks I still believe people are going to eventually move on from this, but Activision Blizzard is going to probably have to settle this lawsuit or do something, or this is just gonna hang over them for the next couple of years, however long they want this to go on for, because I imagine this lawsuit is going to go to the courts unless, again, they settle. Activision Blizzard's corporate defense of this mess, saying that none of this happened or it's distorted, blah 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 blah, kind of blows up in their face when you have dozens upon dozens of developers sharing their stories, and also is interesting seeing some just outright putting X marks over the company's name at this point. That includes Russell Brower. He did the World of Warcraft, Diablo 3, and StarCraft 2 soundtracks. Another former developer saying, I would be hard pressed to find someone that wasn't witness to things happening in the game lounges, coke in the bathrooms during a cube crawl, or a woman who wasn't harassed at least once. And then in a now viral TikTok video, we had a product manager at Blizzard who gave the following video pretty much confirming that, yeah, most of what was said in that California lawsuit indeed happened.
Look, I'm trying to be a positive person, so I don't like making posts like this. It's for my friends that I made while working at Blizzard Entertainment that I don't want to say anything at all. So if you know what's going on with Blizzard, you know they're being sued by California for a toxic environment that includes sexual harassment, among other things. And in their response, they said this does not represent who Blizzard is. Yes, it does. And it has for a long time. Since my first day back in 2012, I was sexually harassed, and women have it way worse. One of my employees was told by a technical director to her face in front of witnesses during one of these cube crawls that absolutely do exist, that he didn't like her because she wasn't giving him head. When an employee was sexually assaulted at a holiday party, we had to fight tooth and nail with HR to get them to take any action, through which they victimized her and blamed her. Now we've got an employee who's taken her own life, seemingly because of the treatment that she experienced at the hands of her leadership and her coworkers. Yeah, It's real. It's you. Be better.
At this point, it really is difficult to say how this is going to end. I personally think that some of these executives, some of these leaders are going to have to go, whether that be JL and Brack or somebody under him. I have no idea at this point, but regardless, Activision Blizzard has handled this as badly as they could. It does seem weird that they had to make sure they had a woman in front of this, that Frances Townsend figure or whatever. They made sure she put out that statement like, hey, we need to get a female behind this, but whatever. At this point, they have a lot of work to do internally and externally. They have lost the trust of fans, but not the first time and probably not the last time. Anyway, what do you make of this giant disaster? How do you envision an ending? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, but thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this video or if you found any informative value. Make sure to follow my other social media accounts for updates on new videos. Links are always down in the description below. I'm most active on Twitter, giving opinions on news that I do not always get into video form, so do make sure to follow me over there. Also check out my Discord for all sorts of discussion on games. And again, thank you for joining. Consider subscribing for more videos like this, and I'll see you later.